Good morning. This is Kathy Tucker with Kathy Tucker Coaching and Consulting, and I specialize in helping new home sales leaders and salespeople sell more homes. And I have been in the industry for over 30 years, and this is what I love. I love to help the salespeople and sales leaders learn ways to do their job more successfully and more effectively. So what we're going to do today is I am going to demonstrate for you what I consider to be one of the most powerful tools to converting your appointments into sales. And it is a combination of using what I call is the buying power worksheet, where basically we pre-qualify a customer quickly, and then a cost estimate sheet where we price out the home for a prospect and show them what their monthly payment, PITI, would be, and their cash to close and whatnot. And I'm going to show you how to pull it all together so that you can close using this powerful tool. Ultimately, what it does is once you have figured out what they want and why they want the home that they do, and then you're able to show them that they can get the home that they want at a price and payment that works for them in their parameters and in the lender parameters, and you show them that they can get what they love at a price and payment they want, then you know what? It's a whole lot easier to move them through the process and close the sale. And that's what I want to show you today. So I'm going to set this over here, and ultimately you're going to watch me. I'm going to demonstrate for you as if you're the customer and I'm the salesperson. This way I can show you what this process looks like. So in order to do this, there's a couple things that you need first. Ideally, you've done some quick pre-qualifying on the floor and you have an idea of what the customer wanted financially, and of course you've also taken the time to demonstrate the model, demonstrate the homes, and have a good understanding of ultimately what that prospect is looking for in terms of a home, a community, a home site. So ultimately you have an idea of what they want, and now it's time to price it out for them. So you need to know what they want. You need to know ideally which home site they want it on. And like I said, now we're gonna price it out for them. So that's ideally you want to have that information first. The other thing that's a prerequisite to being able to do this process well and efficiently is you have to have an understanding of financing. You have to know what some of the qualification guidelines are, and you also have to know how to calculate PITI and cash to close for a buyer. So those are prerequisites to this particular training. In this training, I'm assuming that you know how to qualify somebody, you know how to price out a home for somebody, and you understand from a prospect's perspective what they want and why they want it. So now it's a matter of let's pull it together. Okay, so that's some of the prerequisites. What you will need to do this is you will need a buying power worksheet. I like to have one on my computer so that I can plug in the numbers, but I also like to have a blank one available for the prospect to see what I'm talking about as I'm going through it. I also like to have the floor plan that they're interested in, along with a marketing map that shows the home sites. And then I like to have a cost estimate sheet, one where it shows us how we're going to price out that home for the prospect and what that monthly payment would come to. And I have that on the computer, and I also like to have a blank copy of it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to propose the agenda for covering this information with a prospect. I'm going to show you how to ask the discovery questions and present the buying power worksheet. And then I'm going to show you how to present the cost estimate sheet and use it as a closing tool. All right. Okay. So let's see. We will get started here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of go into a role, and you'll be my prospect. Okay. Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Tucker. It is so great to have you back today. thank you for spending the afternoon with us. And I'm excited to price out this home for you and really show you what all the, what it's going to look like on paper, and then give you the information you need to be able to make a decision. So very, very glad to have you back here today. Let's talk about what we're going to do here over the next 30 minutes to an hour. Okay. First of all, I'm going to go through, like I was mentioning to you before, a buying power worksheet. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to see, what your buying power is, how much home you want to buy, and you can afford to buy according to a lender's guidelines. So it helps us understand what your buying power is. In it, I'm going to go look at 4 areas. I'm going to look at your income, your monthly obligations, your assets, and your credit. And then I'm going to make a few calculations, and I'll be able to show you basically what your buying power is. All right. We'll then take that information and we're going to price out the home for you. Now, I know from us talking yesterday that you have fallen in love with the Collins plan, and you're interested in pricing it out with some of those extra features that you mentioned you really wanted. Like you really wanted the covered porch and the fireplace and the outdoor entertaining area. So, what we're going to do here today is we're going to go ahead and price all those items into the home, so you have a really good idea of what that home will cost. We also have the site map here, and as we talked about yesterday, we looked at some various home sites, and I believe the one that you were most interested in was 74 over here, which is over here on the end. So I just want to have this here so that you have all the information about what you were looking for from the home and the home site. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, after we've priced out the home, I'm going to actually be able to take it a step further for you, and I will I'll price out the home with the various options like you want, so we could personalize the home for you. I will show you what your down payment would be based upon lender guidelines and what you want to use as your down payment. I'll help you pick a loan program. It's not, it can be changed, but this is at least to give you a good estimate. I'll help you pick a loan program, and then I'll actually calculate for you what your monthly payment will be, your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. I'll even add the community HOA dues too. And then when I show you I'll show you the breakdown, so you'll have a good understanding of what your monthly payment will be on the new home. Then we can also compare that to what your buying power is and make sure it's in sync. Make sure it's where you want it to be. Once that looks good, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at your prepaid expenses and closing costs. Basically, all the cash that's going to be required to be able to move into your new home. So I'll break that down for you so it's very clear to you what is required and when it's required. And that way, by the end of the next hour, you'll not only know what your buying power is and what the lender will allow for you, but you'll also know what the home will price out at with the features you want in it. You'll know what your monthly payment would be in your new home. You'll know the cash to close and when it's all due. Therefore, you'll have all the information you need to be able to make a decision. How's that sound? Good? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the buying power worksheet, okay? And in this worksheet, what I'm going to need to do is ask you a couple of questions about your income, your monthly obligations, your assets, and your credit. Okay, so let's start, if you would, with your income. Now I'm going to take a few notes here and I'm going to plug it into the computer, and that way I'll be able to get the calculations fairly easily. So share with me, if you would, what's your annual or monthly income? Okay, so your annual income, Mr. Tucker, is $95,000. Okay, great. Did you have any other bonuses, commissions, or anything like that you want to add to that? Okay, all right, that's great. What a healthy income. Good for you. How about for you, Mrs. Tucker? Do you have, any income you want to share as well? Or what's your income? All right, 30,000. Okay, very good. So what kind of work do you both do? Oh, nice. You've been doing that for, how long have you been doing that? Oh, how do you like it? Oh, that's great. Great. Well, I know my sister is a teacher as well. She's been doing it for, gosh, probably about 20 years, and she loves it. And, she always comes home with so many really fun stories about the kids. So I know that's something that's really a lot of fun. Okay, so what we have here relative to income is about 125,000 a year. Does that sound about right? Okay, good. That's awesome. All right, next up is monthly payments. What kind of obligations do you have that you pay on a monthly basis? So that's typically car loans, student loans, credit card loans, those types of things. Let's start with a car loan. Do you have a car loan? You do. Okay. What would your monthly payment be? $500? Okay, $500. So I'm writing all this down. Okay, and a student loans, do you have any kind of student loans? Okay, so that's paid monthly or quarterly? Quarterly, okay, so if that's quarterly, then monthly, that's $150 a month, okay? Sounds good. How about credit cards? Now, most of us have credit cards. A lot of times we pay them off, sometimes we don't. But share with me, what's your minimum monthly payment on your credit card, even though you may pay more? Okay, all right, you have several. I do too. My gosh, that's the way we live these days, right? I put everything on my credit card. The more I put on the credit card, then I just get points for airline tickets, right? So anyway, so let's, so you both have a credit card, okay, and you think your minimum payments between the two is about 200? Okay, sounds good. And then anything else? Any other loans or monthly obligations out there? Okay. All right, you have another personal loan, $100 a month? Okay. All right, very good. I'll add that up. Are there any of these loans that are going to be paid off in the next 6 months or so? Because typically if they do, then we don't even have to count them. No? Okay, very good. Well, then we have about $950 a month in monthly obligations. That sound about right? Okay, very good. All right, next up is assets. So to purchase a home, obviously there's some cash to move into the home. And what were you planning on using as your cash to purchase the home? All right, you were going to take some money out of your checking account. Okay, anything else? Do you have a retirement savings or any other cash that you want to use? Okay, so you have about $50,000 that you've been saving up. Wow, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Okay, and that sounds good. Anything else you were thinking of? Okay, all right, very good. So 50,000. Okay, you're planning to continue to save a little bit. Okay, all right, that's great. About how much do you feel like you are planning to save over the next, 6 to 10 months? Okay, about $1,000 a month. Okay, fantastic. So probably then an additional, $5,000 to $10,000. Okay, that's good to know. All right, and then as far as your credit score goes, that's the last area. So as far as your credit score goes, have you checked your credit recently? You have, okay, good. So can you share with me what it is? All right, about 750. Oh, that's terrific. Your credit scores typically run somewhere between 400 and 800 plus. 750, you should be golden. Nice job. All right, well, let me do this. Let me go ahead and plug some of these numbers in. While I'm doing this, let me ask you, what are you paying right now in your rent payment? Okay, so you're at about $1,800 a month in rent? Okay, very good. And where were you thinking you wanted to be relative to your new house payment? I mean, did you have a payment in mind? Okay, so you're at about $1,800 now, and you were thinking you could maybe go up to about $2,500 a month? Okay, that sounds good. And up to $2,500, is that kind of like a hard line number, or is there a little bit of a range? What were you thinking? $2,500 to $3,000? Okay, but you wanted to stay closer to the $2,500? Okay, that sounds good. Well, I feel like depending on what you want to include and add to the home, I think we could do that pretty well. But let me take a look here and see what the buying power is. Okay, so I've plugged in your income, Mr. and Mrs. Tucker, and let's see, we have income of about 125,000, right? So basically what this is showing me, oh my gosh, you're gonna be really happy about this. It's showing me that your buying power, based upon the lender guidelines, is that you could actually buy a home that is priced with a monthly payment of somewhere around $2,900 to $3,000 a month. What that would equate to with today's interest rates and taxes and stuff here in this community is that equates to a home sales price of right about $500,000. How about that? A little bit more than what you probably thought, isn't it? All right, very good. Well, I know you mentioned that you wanted to be more in the $2,500 range. So what that would mean is let's do another calculation here, and let's just see. Probably what you would want to do is, although a lender would allow you a loan with a payment of up to $2,900 based upon your very healthy income. If you want to stay a little closer to the $2,500 payment, instead of going for about a $500,000 home, you probably want to go with about a $450,000 home. At $450,000, your payment's going to be somewhere closer to like $2,500, $2,600 a month. So that just helps you have a range. We certainly can go lower than that. We can go, it's up to you and what you're comfortable with, okay? But let's see, based upon this, let me show you. You see, when you look at these ratios, the lender wants you to stay within 28% of your monthly income, and that's where they're saying you could, based on your income, you could actually go up to $2,900 a month. And then with your current monthly obligations, which are fairly normal, this ratio, you can have up to $3,750 in your total obligations, meaning your new house payment plus your current obligations. So that's where we are. But no doubt, if you want to be at the $2,500 monthly payment, we can do that. Sound good? All right, very good. All right, let's do the next part. The next part is the really fun part. So that's the part where we're actually going to price out the home for you. So let's do this. We have the floor plan, and what I want you to do is take the floor plan and follow along with me. Here's a highlighter for you so that you can make notes and highlight some of the extra options in here that we're pricing into your home, okay? So I'm gonna give that to you so you can be looking at that while I have all of the features here on the computer. And I'm gonna go room by room, and we're gonna go through, what you wanted to add to the home, okay? And then we'll come up with a total. All right. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go through the entire pricing out the home for them. I'm going to assume that you can do that, where you're going room by room and adding in the various options. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pick it up at the cost estimate and help you see how you can now take the buying power information and the cost estimate and work that together. Okay, so back in roll. All right, very good, Mr. and Mrs. Tucker. So we have been through the Collins floor plan and priced in the various additional items that you were interested in. And so let's take a look at what we've done. So we have priced in. You've got your beautiful white kitchen cabinetry, which you really wanted. We've got the hardwoods that go through the entire first floor of the home, which was something you really wanted. And oh my gosh, I do think some of those beautiful gray hardwoods are just gorgeous, aren't they? Nice. We have and I would actually be, reviewing this as I, print it out and review some of these highlights. You have the gourmet kitchen, where you have the special double oven and microwave combinations, so that you can be the place where everybody comes to with all the kids home, and you can have Thanksgiving at your house because you'll have plenty of oven space. We've also got We've got the outdoor entertaining area that you were talking about. So we've got that priced in so that you can enjoy, having the swim team over, outside with the pool. We've got the fireplace, of course, in the family room. And then I think you added some extra light fixtures here just to make the house as light and bright as you want it. So we've got all these here. And then, of course, we have all of our included features. We've got the GE appliances, and we've got the Kohler faucets, and we've got, these Anderson windows, and we've got, all, and I would review a lot of the included features that you have and that your builder offers. So we have all of this included. So when we add all this up, this comes to a total of $400,000. So that's even below that number that you said you wanted to be, right? $400,000. We got it right on. How does that sound? Good? Okay, fantastic. So, now, let me ask you this. Now, you said you wanted to keep your payment somewhere around $2,500. How long do you think you're going to be in the home? All right, you think you'll be here for quite a while. Okay, so did you have an idea of what kind of loan program you wanted? Okay, so you're thinking you're going to be here long term, so you're looking for a 30-year fixed rate loan. Okay, well, gosh, we're so fortunate with the interest rates being as low as they are right now, 3.5%. Can you believe that? That's just amazing. So you certainly can buy even more home for your money when your interest rate is so low. So, okay, we'll do a 30-year fixed rate loan at 3.5%. And the minimum down on this conventional loan is 10%. So we are going to calculate this with 10% down. Okay, very good. All right, let me plug that in here. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate this for you. All right, okay, very good. So, all right, so I'm going to calculate it. I'm going to print it out, and I've already got it printed out here in front of me. So here's what I'm going to do is now let me explain for you the monthly payment, the prepaids, and the closing costs so that you can have, all the information you need to be able to make a decision, okay? So based on this $400,000 mortgage, or the $400,000 sales price, and 10% down, we're going to have a mortgage amount of $360,000. Okay, and then when we calculate this out, your principal and interest is going to be, and again, I'm going to be pointing this out to them right here. Your principal and interest is $1,437, and that's your that's your loan. Then you have mortgage insurance, and your mortgage insurance is going to be $200 a month. Actually, okay. Your mortgage insurance is $255 a month. Sorry about that. Let's make sure we have that in there correct. Okay, that's insurance to the lender against default of the loan. Okay, next we have your property taxes. That's the taxes that you have to pay to the county for your property, and that's $257 a month. And then there's homeowner's insurance. Now this is the insurance on the home itself, not necessarily the contents inside, but homeowner's insurance for the home. That's of course required by the lender, and that's $42 a month. And then I've included in here the HOA dues. So the HOA dues are $33 a month. So the total monthly payment here comes to $2203 per month. And that's principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and HOA fees. How does that sound? $2203. Now, sound good, huh? So right now you said you're paying $1,800. So what we're talking about here is you can actually own your new home for a little over $400 a month more than what you were paying in rent. Wow, how do you feel about that? That's almost a no-brainer, isn't it? Great. Well, it's also, you had said you wanted to be no more than $2,500 a month. That was really your comfort zone. So here we are at $2,200, so we even beat that. How's that feel? Good, good, good. And you get all that home. You get that outdoor entertaining space. You've got the gourmet kitchen for entertaining. You got the fireplace. You've got the beautiful hardwoods that you really wanted. So you've got all those goodies in there. And in fact, if you wanted to add a few more, I know you were debating on whether or not you wanted to finish off the basement. You know what? You could do that. You could do that. It wouldn't even add that much more to your payment. So how does that look? Good? Good. Glad to hear it. Okay, well, let's now, I'm so excited for you. You can actually get this home for that $2,200 a month. Isn't that awesome? Yay. Okay, I like it when a plan comes together. All right, so let's see. Now let's talk about the cash to close. So what we had here was, so there's two things. There's prepaid expenses and there's closing cost. Prepaid expenses are expenses that you have to pay at the time of closing on the home that are really things that you would have to pay anyway. You're just paying them up front. So you're paying 2 months worth of taxes up front, 14 months worth of insurance you put in escrow, some prepaid mortgage insurance, those types of things. So those are actually, payments that you have to make at the time of, or an amount that you have to pay at the time of closing. And then you also have to pay closing costs, and closing costs are just expenses to actually obtain the loan. So let's talk about what they are. So prepaid expenses, as you see here, we have 2 months worth of property taxes, so that's $513. We have 14 months worth of insurance, so that's $583. We have some prepaid mortgage insurance, and that's $500. And then we also have interest to the end of the month. Are you familiar with what that is? Okay, so if you, interest to the end of the month is the interest that you pay on your mortgage from the day you close till the end of that month. So let's say it's October right now and you're gonna be closing in February. So you'll close, let's say it's February 15th. This will be interest that you'll pay from the 15th of the month till the 28th of the month, okay? And your next payment, or your first payment then, will not be due until April 1st. So you'll have March without a payment. So you get a whole month, kind of like a freebie month, helps you pay for moving expenses and all that kind of stuff. So your first payment would be due April 1st. So that's what your prepaid expenses are. And your prepaid expenses here come to $21.24. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that right there, $21.24. Okay, and then closing costs. So closing costs are approximately 2% of your mortgage amount. So in this case, that's going to be at about $7,000. Okay, and then your down payment. We were doing 10% is $40,000 on a $400,000 house, right? So our total cash to close is $49,124. So here we go. So what we have here is your total prepaids and closing costs come to $91.24. So when I add up your down payment plus your closing cost, your total cash out of pocket is $49,124. How does that sound? So not too bad, huh? So you had said over here that you had about $50,000 saved to go towards this purchase, and you thought you could still save between $5,000 and $10,000 between now and the next 6 to 10 months. The good news is it looks like you have the cash that you need to be able to move forward. So how does that sound? Pretty good, huh? All right. Well, let's review what we've done here today. Just so that let's kind of regroup here. We covered a lot of material. All right, so we started by looking at your buying power and identified that according to the lender, you can actually obtain a loan of, up to, $500,000, but ultimately you didn't want to go that high, which is perfectly fine, and you wanted, so you can actually get a loan with a payment of, well, you wanted it to be no more than $2,500, but of course you qualify for up to $3,000, up to $2,900. So as far as obtaining the loan, no problem, you're golden. It sounds like your credit is fine, you have the assets, you'll qualify for the mortgage payment, so you have plenty of buying power to buy the home. We reviewed the Collins floor plan and we went through the details of what all was included in the home and the additional features that you wanted, and we priced out the home with all those additional features. That white kitchen, the gray floor, the upgraded gourmet kitchen, ovens and countertops, the outdoor entertaining area with the grill space and the patio and the covered porch. So we've got all that included in the home. Right? Okay. And you had already picked out lot 74, I think, over there on the end of the cul-de-sac. So I think you felt pretty good about that, right? Good. I know that's a really great place. With the entertaining that you want to do, it'll be nice to have that home site where you've got so much extra privacy. That's really awesome. Okay. Then we looked at buying power. We looked at your home and priced it out for you. We came down with a monthly payment that was going to be $2,200, so it's right within the range that you feel comfortable with. The cash out of pocket was going to be $49,124, so you felt comfortable with that. So when you look at all this together, you get the home that you want with all the options in it. You get the home site you wanted over there on the cul-de-sac with the extra privacy. You get the payment at $2,200, and the cash out of pocket works for you. What do you think? Sounds good, huh? Good. You got any questions? No? All right. Well, with all this, it sounds like it works for you. How about we go ahead and write this up for you and get this home started so that you can actually be in by February, so that you're ready for the springtime when you do all of your entertaining out there on that patio. Sound good? All right. All right. How would you like your names to appear on the deed? Let me go ahead and put this together for you. Very good. All right. Let's go. All right. So how does that sound, guys? You could see how, gosh, in a very short period of time, you can help the customer understand what their buying power is, price everything out to them, and reiterate what they're getting and what they love about the home and the home site and the community, and then show them a price and payment that works within their framework. And when you do that and close by showing them that they can get what they want at a price, payment, and cash out of pocket that works for them, there you go. You don't have to send them to a lender and delay the process. You could just take care of it all for them right then and there. Now, certainly, I know that I set this up and it's somewhat easy. I said that they had $50,000. Sometimes they don't have $50,000, and you have to help them come up with ways to be able to find the cash, or maybe they don't qualify quite for as much of a payment as they really need or want. Well, there's ways to work that out as well, and make some modifications to debts and down payments and stuff like that to try to modify it as well. That's kind of an advanced level, but what I really wanted you to see here is how you can present the entire package in a way that makes it easy for the customer. So hopefully that helps you. And if you have any more questions, comments, catch up with me on at my email, ktuckercoaching@gmail.com, or contact me on Facebook. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks very much. Bye.